Hello, my name is Nick Reagan. The theme I chose for my artifact analysis over the semester is Science, Technology, and Innovation. With this presentation, I aim to discuss their relationship within society, the role that they played throughout the multiple cultures, and what to expect in the future. First, I'd like to start off by explaining what this theme means in my own words. The way that I see scientific and technological innovation within human society is that it is a manifestation of a biological trait present in virtually all organisms that undergo natural selection, adaptability. The reason that adaptability in organisms is so prevalent, whether that may be through random genetic mutation or to specific environmental conditions, is that adaptable organisms have an inherent advantage over ones that cannot adapt, meaning that they are more likely to survive changing environmental conditions or encounters with other predators, and then pass on whatever adaptation occurred that enabled their survival to the following generation. The interesting thing about adaptability that I think in humans compared to basically every other creature that has ever existed is that we can take our experiences and even more importantly, the experiences of others to retroactively create solutions for whatever problem that negatively impacts our lives. Another notable aspect of human adaptability is that it does not serve a binary function, but rather intertwines with other human characteristics such as our predisposition towards pro-social behavior. From the artifact analysis over this course, there appears to be a link between practical innovation that increase quality of life and social innovations, with the inverse holding true as well. Social innovations also tend to lead to practical innovations. The first artifact that I analyzed that displayed a compounding link between practical and social innovations is Skara Brae, a Neolithic village. This culture built their houses out of stone with a technique called corbelling, which is a technique where flat stones are layered on top of each other at an inward angle. The development of this technique to build was fueled out of their need to adapt to their environment, as rocks and mud was the only real building material that they had access to, rather than something like wood. In early history, such as the Paleolithic and Neolithic eras, it appears that many innovations were primarily developed for practicality and adaptation in response to environmental factors, ultimately to increase survival. This is seen in the discovery of fire, the usage of stone tools, and even in the case of Skara Brae developing corbelling. However, just as with practical innovations in later eras, there's an innovative social element that is intrinsically tied in. The houses in Skara Brae were built in close proximity and all followed a detailed interior layout, leading to the implication that these people were not only a close-knit community, but also actively planning the design of their houses with each other. In this case, the usage of corbelling to better adapt to their environment facilitated increased social cooperation in the form of a proto-urban planning. Fast forwarding a couple thousand years or so leads to the next artifact, the coat of arms of the Arte della Lana. This artifact, when it's translated to English, says that it's the coat of arms of the Wool Guild of Florence. You might be wondering what a crest from a Florentine wool guild has to do with this theme. Well, from my perspective, it is a symbolic representation of the compounding nature of practical and social innovations. Unlike the previous artifact, where practical innovation led to social, this one displays how social advances lead to technological ones. The development of guilds, in my eyes, is a groundbreaking evolution in the societal structure because it enabled like-minded professionals of the same trade to collaborate and share ideas with each other through an institutional medium. This likely amplified the ability of guild members to specialize and better understand their respective fields, leading to further innovations such as the invention of checks, credit, and life insurance, which are all still pretty relevant to modern day. The formation of the various guilds is what I see as the accumulation of the social and practical innovations up until the beginning of the Renaissance, where new scientific, technological, and social understanding really started to accelerate exponentially. Next artifact follows shortly after the previous one. It also originated in Florence, and it is the San Lorenzo Cathedral. While the design of the San Lorenzo Cathedral is a direct innovation on the Gothic style, principal aspect of innovation that I found particularly important is the manner in which its developer, Filippo B., gathered information regarding its design. Rather than simply seeking to improve upon the design of the previous culture, which was basically the standard at this point, Filippo sought to compile all known information about various fields from a number of cultures that he thought would aid him in creating a greater structure. His fields ranged from Roman architecture to ancient Greek geometry and even Arab optic science. He lacked information for the design he had in mind, and that led him to do what I would describe as the first recorded literature review, which is a practice common in modern day science. While this might not seem all that great of an achievement from a modern perspective, it just goes to further highlight the relationship between practical and social innovations, where Filippo seeking to build a better cathedral led to a change in the general view of how scientific and technological advancements can be made through a nonlinear accumulation of knowledge where information can build on previous information. Final artifact is one that I think embodies the idea that practical and social innovations are intertwined and compound off one another. It's a painting called The Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse. It's created by Albrecht Dürer, and it features a rather dark and disturbing theme, which is common of his work and the Northern Renaissance. This painting was one of the first to utilize the printing press for mass production of art, and for a purpose that I would describe as somewhat sinister. Dürer intended to capitalize on the fear present among the common people that an impending apocalypse was coming due to the sins committed by the Catholic Church. From my perspective, Dürer's use of the printing press appears to be one of the first recorded instances of propaganda, in which mass-distributed media is deliberately made to be emotionally provocative with the underlying intention of spreading an ideology, which is the Reformation. In terms of how this artifact relates to the exponentially compounding nature of practical and social innovations, it's seen how the printing press, developed for practicality, is directly used to propagate the growth of social innovation, which was the Reformation. As seen following the Renaissance and the subsequent eras into the modern era, scientific, technological, and social innovations will continue their exponential growth, just as it has resulted in the incredibly high quality of life that we already enjoy. Despite that, it appears that while practical and social innovations have a direct link, scientific and technological innovations have currently overtaken the social ones by quite a wide margin, at least in the United States and from my view. In the coming centuries, it's quite hard to imagine what future technology will look like and advance to. However, I hope that social innovations are not lagging behind then as they are now. Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching.